Hi, welcome to Kingston Library's live ebook review for today. Today I'm going to talk about a book on sort of Chinese history and politics. It's not an area I've ever really read much about, but recently I read this really interesting book about three sisters who are intertwined into the history and politics of China and the emergence of communism. And it is called Big Sister, Little Sister, Red Sister, and it's by Jung Chang. I hope I've said that right. Sorry if I haven't. Jung Chang has a couple of books about Chinese history and culture and politics. Her books are actually banned in China though. Her version of history and the one that she depicts in her books doesn't quite align with what the Communist Party teach as their history. So yes, they're banned, but I think that's more reason to read them, sort of. I didn't know anything really about Chinese history or politics, which is me. I just didn't really learn much about it in school, and I just wanted to learn a bit more. It sounded like a really interesting read. It focuses on the lives of three sisters, two of which are nationalist, and one of which starts off nationalist but becomes communist. And how it sort of causes them to become a bit distant from each other. They're on opposing sides of politics at the time. But it focuses on the lives of the three sisters and how their relationship is always really close, even though their politics don't always align. It's a really interesting depiction of history, and it's told through the position of the three women, which I think is what I found most enjoyable, because history forgets about women a lot of the time, and this puts them at centre stage and shows how important they were in the emergence of nationalism and later communism in China. It's a really interesting read. It's obviously non-fiction. I would recommend it. It is on Libby, so it's available on Libby as an ebook for free with your library card. It's a really interesting read. I don't really want to say too much about it because just because I've read one book, I don't feel that I'm an expert in Chinese history or politics, so I wouldn't want to embarrass myself or tell you things that are not actually accurate. But I feel like this book was a really great start. The way it was written was easy to follow. I didn't get confused. I understood what was happening. And I also, I felt a lot for the women as well. It includes a lot of excerpts from their letters and diaries and things like that. So you get a sense of who the women were and what was important to them. And it's just a really interesting read, a bit different from the usual book recommendations. It's also really good at the moment to try and make your bookshelves and your reading as inclusive as possible to all cultures and histories as well, especially things that aren't necessarily taught in schools. But yeah, so if you give anything a read, if you give this a read, let us know. Let me know what you think, whether you found it helpful as a stepping tool to learning more. Yeah, happy reading!